One thing I found really interesting about you is that you have made an independent feature film. I've also made an indie feature, so I'm really intrigued about your film. Tell me about it.
That really just started several years ago. You know, I'm here in the Midwest. I have no plans to move to LA. And I'm like, no one's going to knock on my door and ask me to shoot a feature film. So it started with just like the idea, like, I just want to do it. I want to direct it. I wanted the challenge. I had not done that at all. I'd done a few short films. Most of my stuff was unscripted documentary work. So it started with that kernel of an idea. And then I started dreaming about like, man, it'd be really cool if we just did it in a way that purposefully involved a bunch of people. So it accomplished two things. It gives lots of people opportunities to learn and grow in their craft. So crew, cast, everything. But then also I thought, that's also a good way to where when you have a finished product, you have a captive audience. So now you've got friends and family, and the more people that are involved, the more people that it could spread to. Now, I wasn't interested in trying to make a bunch of money from it, but I wanted to make a little bit of a splash with it. That's kind of how the idea was born. It was really just to use as many people as possible. So we custom wrote a script to do that. We shot it, ended up having to shoot it during COVID, which ended up being a good opportunity because a lot of people who ordinarily would have been doing other work had no work. So it was all volunteer driven, mostly volunteer driven. And so, yeah, it was just a movie about hope. It was a drama comedy. We wanted to be left with a watchable film. You know, none of us had done it before, so we had no notions of thinking that this was going to be freaking amazing. And we wanted to make it really a safe, accessible film. So we weren't trying to shoot some weird offbeat horror thing. So it's a fairly safe script that we knew would be decent and watchable for the average person. So that's kind of what we did, and it ended up being a great process, build a good network of people, and we intend on doing similar work starting next year with a little more structure around it, to where we are giving opportunities to underprivileged people who wouldn't ordinarily get a chance to learn and grow on film sets and shoot movies in the area. And yeah, it just kind of grew from there.
What camera did you use to shoot your film?
We were planning on shooting on DSLR, and then at the last minute, some guys that we were contracting with to do the sound had a couple of C300s plus some cinema lenses. So they were generous enough to let us use that, and that really raised the production level that we weren't expecting, because what came with that then was great wireless director's monitors, wireless focus pulling, all that stuff. So it really allowed us to like make sure that the film was watchable, because that's the thing about DSLR is like it can do good stuff, but man, you can really be left with some bad footage because you can't monitor properly, you can't pull focus well, you can't, all that stuff.
What did your film cost, and how did you go about funding it?
Yeah, I spent a little bit of my own money. A couple of people on the crew spent a little bit of their own money, but by and large, we raised about $10,000, and that was through some private donors, because I've been in the church and nonprofit world for a while. So we just went to a few people and said, hey, this is what we're trying to do. We've got some actual cost related to food and beverage for people when they show up, and also for sound design. So a couple of indie filmmakers advised me, get somebody in there who knows how to do good sound capture from multiple sources, because that's what's going to allow you to have a watchable film. People are very forgiving with a shot that's a little out of focus, but not very forgiving if it's terrible sound. So that's a lot of what we paid for. But even the guys that we used for that were incredible and provided value way above and beyond what we did not pay the market rate. So yeah, it was about $10,000, and that was all donation. That was not like we're trying to make back the money. We covered our cost with the premieres, with tickets to pay for the actual cost of the premiere. I don't know, I think we brought it about $70 on Amazon through streaming. So
how did you distribute your film?
So we had some premieres locally and then through Amazon. And I think they're looking for basically, is it an actual movie? Like this is not their included with Prime one. It's, so then people just get on there and rent it. But it was a process. Like it took a little bit of work and effort to get it through that.
What are you looking to accomplish in the future with your filmmaking or your business?
There's some dreams surrounding continuing to make independent films in Cincinnati for the purposes of growing and developing people and giving them opportunities. So we're working towards building a nonprofit towards that and then getting funding.
If you found this video helpful, I would greatly appreciate it if you would subscribe to my channel. I also have a couple other interviews with filmmakers that you may find extremely helpful. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.